Ready?
Yep.
I don't know if I remember to do this. Out of practice.
And we're back.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Yes, we still exist.
Yep, we do. I'm Jonathan, she's Lynn, and we are still Create and Capture Life.
So we have not done a YouTube video for quite a while. A lot of our subscribers have noticed, and thank you for noticing, and we're doing okay. A lot has happened in the last couple of months. We'll get into that in a whole nother video, or a few videos, because there's been a lot. Yeah. But right now we're going to bring you the promised RV park review for the Menifee Lakes 1,000 Trails in Menifee, California.
Yep.
We stayed there over Father's Day weekend, and it is now August. So 2 months ago we stayed there, and yeah, now we're going to do the video. So let's cut to our footage from Menifee Lakes.
So this one's just a 30 amp. We know that there's other units that are 30 and 50 amp, but ours is just 30. We have low water pressure, but it works okay. And convenient sewer hookup. So here's the park. You can see there's everything is kind of spaced out. Got a lot of random spaces. This is our space. The spot next to us was closed, so it's kind of convenient. We didn't even notice that until after we got here. And then these guys didn't show up until we had been here for a couple days. They literally got here yesterday. We're leaving today.
There's my customary view of Scout's Head as we try to leave this 1,000 Trails campsite. Lots of dogs. Lots of kids. It's a Monday. As we're leaving right now, it's a Monday, and it's not. Oh, speed bump. It's pretty, I'd say 30% emptier than it was over the weekend. At least in these sections over here. We're going to drive by closer to the little river, not river, but like waterway, man-made canal, I guess you would call it. But yeah, you can see this is the 1,000 Trails. This is the, you can actually see the roads. The roads in this one are paved, so you know what's road and what's a spot, which is nice. It's not always that way. This section is, as we get closer to the canal, is a lot busier, as you can see. Lots of rigs to look at. If you go out walking, you can kind of see all the different rigs. It's kind of fun. Sometimes we see rigs and we don't know. We've never heard of the brand, or we don't know what brand it is. So sometimes we have to look them up. So it's kind of fun sometimes. It's kind of like shopping too. You can look at them and think, oh, I don't like that one, or I really like that one. Dumpsters. Kind of overflowing, but it's also Monday. There's one of the bathrooms. Bathrooms are, you know, typical, okay, camping bathroom. Nothing special.
So out of my side, here's one of the waterways, one of the little canals. We were about to go around, but I don't know if you can see the sign there. It says, wrong way, do not enter, autos are okay, but RVs are not. So that bridge is probably not rated for RVs. But yeah, there is one of the waterways. Right here we have a basketball court. There's some grills out here. You can see the little grills out there, right near the road. So they don't really have picnic tables out here other than 2. So I'm not sure if you're just allowed to use those right now or not. But that's what's out here.
It doesn't look like they maintain this very well. Oh look, Mickey. Yeah, I'm not sure that they maintain this very well. This basketball court leaves a little bit to be desired. This looks like it's a communal fire pit. There's these benches here, and then I don't know, maybe they do speaking things here or something like that. But that's also, the grills that I was just talking about are right there. You're right on the road. Really big shade trees here, so that's kind of nice. Today it's 90 degrees, so the shade's nice right now. And there's that fire pit. Over here, right off the fire pit, is the mini golf. So you can get your putt-putt on. So I'm on the back side of this building. Lots of bees. Not a good thing for me since I'm allergic to them. Lots of geese, which hopefully they don't turn around and start chasing me. But here's some of the babies. Well, they're not really babies now, they're kind of like teenagers now. Here's one of the canals. And you have ducks and geese hanging out. Lots and lots of duck poop and geese poop all around this park. So if your dogs are like ours and they like to roll in said poop, you may want to keep an eye on them because it smells really bad when your dog rolls in it. The other side of the building I was talking about, this is the lodge apparently. So if we walk over here, there's a rig going by, so if you hear that. We walk over here. The lodge is right by the pool. Yes, I know we need to get a gimbal for this camera. So Jonathan just went in the lodge to see what they've got in there. This is one of the pools. It has what looks like a kiddie pool right there, and then a pool. This is one of two pools here. This is right at the front. There's an activities office, so you can come here and get your putt-putt things and that, but they're closed right now, so they won't be back till 4:30, so I'm not sure what that's about. The entrance is right over here, so you can see all the RVs waiting to check in. Check-in time is noon, and it's exactly noon right now. So there are RVs trying to check in. Like I said, one of the pools. Looks like pool hours are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. When you come in the front of the park, you're going to end up where that outlaw is right there. And that's the road. You're going to drive along the cabins here. That's the outside road. And then you just pick your spot. They didn't assign it. We just picked it. And then you go back and you tell them what spot you're in. They have long-term spots and short-term spots. We actually ended up in a long-term spot without realizing it, but so this is the front. And if you want to be near the pool, you would want to be near the front, because once you go to the back, there are no amenities. All of the amenities are up here in the front. They do sell propane. They also normally have a dump station. It's currently closed. But they do sell propane, it looks like from 9 to 10 a.m. and 2 to 3 p.m. So you can get propane. This is the first main road. As you come in the entrance, cabins are on this side, and they'll tell you that anything with a white picket fence, which I'm not sure you can see, but anything with a white picket fence is a permanent space, so you cannot park there. And this is the beginning of one of the canals here. If you do park near the water, you will get a lot of flies. So if you like the water and want to park there, cool, but just be prepared for the flies. They do have air and water here for your vehicles and your RVs also. As I was talking about check-in earlier, look at the check-in is noon and it is 12:08, and that's the line waiting to get in right at check-in time. So definitely a lot of people checking in on a Monday. When we showed up on Friday, we didn't get here until about 3:30, and we didn't wait in line at all, and we got a good spot. So, and then there's your sign. As you saw in the footage, we walked around, we talked about some of the things. We're just going to touch on a couple other things because we're going to keep the talking part of this, at least this part of the talking part, a little
brief,
shorter this time, so I don't have as much to edit. Because I'm already going to have to edit all that footage from before, and I haven't looked at it since June, so this should be interesting. One thing, we did get a comment on our Instagram after we went to Menifee Lakes. Someone said that they hadn't been there in a couple of years, wanted to know about the neighborhoods surrounding it. It is currently, apparently at one point it wasn't, but it is now currently surrounded on 3 sides by brand new housing tracts. This park does have, and I think we talked about this in the footage, but in case we didn't, we're going to mention it here. They do have long-term, they have permanent spots, long-term spots, and short-term spots. We mistakenly parked, we didn't want to be near the water because we had heard, and we'll get into that in a minute, but we didn't want to be near the water because we had heard from a lot of people that if you're near the water, there's a lot of flies, and we didn't want to deal with that. So we were looking for somewhere not near the water. We inadvertently ended up parking in a long-term area, which, I mean, no big deal. We were there.
Nobody really cared that we were there, so.
But the people next to us had been there for
a few months.
Yeah, because he talked to them, and they had said they had been there for a few months.
Yeah, and they were actually packing up and getting ready to head to Texas. So.
Yeah, so that was, they were nice. I mean, they had like 8 kids, I think, but so that was a little noisy, but that was on the not our door side. We didn't have anybody on our door side, which was nice because we were able to spend Father's Day weekend with Jonathan's dad, George, and his fiance Rachel, and Noah, their son. So that was fun. It was great. We got to see them 2 nights in a row. So we loved it. And when we were there, it was in the 80s, but we parked in a shady spot. The day we left, it was supposed to be in the 90s there, so keep in mind if you do go to Menifee to check the weather because it does get quite hot in Menifee.
Yeah.
And even at night, it doesn't really cool down if it's 100 degrees during the day. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking of traveling and staying at Menifee. The other question we got is, can we go to Disneyland? Can we stay in Menifee and go to Disneyland? You can. I wrote it down. It's 57 miles away from Disneyland. And in California, that could equate to 2 hours of traffic or 3 hours of traffic, or depending on, we did notice that there is shopping right near Menifee Lakes. So within 2 miles, there are grocery stores, fast food, all the things. 2 miles from the RV park, so if you have to grocery shop, that's nice because it's two miles away.
Yeah,
it's right around the corner, and it was a Stater Brothers, and so it's close if you need to go shopping. One of the things that's funny about Menifee Lakes is there is no lake.
Yeah.
They're canals, and think of, if you've ever been to Disneyland, think of the Storybook boat ride canals. They're kind of like that, except they're not clean, and there's lots of flies.
Neither is a Storybook.
And it's some weird green. I think they dye it green.
Yeah.
So it's a weird green color, and so it's not picturesque whatsoever. I don't know why it's called Menifee Lakes. There's no lake anywhere around there, so they picked the name, I guess. I don't know, but there's no lake. So if you're thinking there's a lake, there's no lake. There are canals.
So we didn't review the Wi-Fi in our walkthrough because the day that we were going to be checking the Wi-Fi, pretty much the day before we left, the night before we left, all of a sudden the Wi-Fi went out, and we weren't sure why. And as we were on our way out the next morning, the gal was out there messing with all of the Wi-Fi stuff, And I asked her, oh, is this why the Wi-Fi is out in the park? And she was kind of frustrated, and she kind of grumbled at me, and she said, yeah. And I said, oh, all right, just checking.
So
apparently they got a lot of calls, I'm sure, about the Wi-Fi being out.
Yeah, we didn't do speed checks or any of that while we were there. We were able to stream and use our phones. That's about the best we can tell you.
Yeah, up until the point where the Wi-Fi went out, we were able to stream, so that is good. And it is a pay Wi-Fi, so it is it's a portal, pay for your access type of Wi-Fi.
Pets are allowed at this 1,000 Trails, as they are at every 1,000 Trail we've ever been to. It does say on the website that there is a dog park. There is no designated dog park, so you could just walk your dogs wherever. We did come across like 2 different dogs that were not leashed that ran up on our dogs. So even though they do have leash policies, people don't always pay attention to that. So we also did, one night we were sitting and we saw a skunk walk by, so which was awesome. So we did see a skunk. So there's other wildlife, I'm sure, out there, but yeah, you can. There's no dog run, so there's no like designated place where you can let your dogs off leash, according to the rules. Whether you let your dogs off leash or not, against the rules, that's kind of up to you.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff we covered in our walkthrough on the last day we were there. Would we stay there again?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it wasn't bad. It's not an RV resort in that it's not super clean. The showers aren't super clean. The bathrooms are okay. Dumpsters, typical of most 1,000 Trails, are overflowing on certain days until the trash gets picked up. You know, that kind of thing. But I think it's kind of all just like any other RV park. It's kind of what you're looking for if you're just looking to chill. Like we were just chilling. We grilled out with his dad for Father's Day. We were, just visiting with them. That was awesome. But if you're there for amenities, this isn't necessarily the park that you would want to go for top-notch amenities.
No, this is, if you're going to be staying there for a while, this is a great park. I mean, let's be clear. It is a fine park if you're going to be staying there for a while. It's got everything you could need. It's got good power, good water pressure. It's got your sewer hookups. They do have bathhouses. They have all of the things. Are you going there as a vacation destination? Probably not.
There's nothing in Menifee that makes it a vacation destination.
Yeah, you're using it as a base camp for
other things,
other areas. I mean, it's a great spot if you want to be centralized, but far enough away from all of the things.
We noticed that there are quite a few people who stay there long term, and I think it's because they're 1,000 Trails members, and so it's technically free, minus your monthly fee, whatever you're paying, but. Which is why we picked it, because his dad lives in Menifee, and it was free for us because we have 1,000 Trails pass. So, is it a top thing? No, but it's a good place to stay as far as it felt safe, which is important to a lot of people. Like he said, good power, all the things that you would want. So I think long term, if you were looking for somewhere to stay and then go branch out from, that would be a good idea. But other than that, it's not one of the best parks we've ever stayed at. And we did walk all around to see other locations and other things. And it's not the best, but it's not the worst. We've seen worse.
We've definitely seen worse.
So I guess that's it for the Menifee Lakes. We are outside of our apartment. If you hear kids, since we filmed last, there are about 200 kids that moved in here. Not really, but that's how it feels. And it's not quiet here anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll be here only until April.
And it's not quite No Kids September.
School has started here, but it's a weekend, so it is what it is. What are you gonna do? We're only here till April, and we will let you know what we're gonna do in April in a later video.
Yep.
So until then, like, subscribe. Do me a favor. I have a question for all of you. If you're watching this, please answer this question down below in the comments. Please tell me what you think is the biggest difference between RVers and van lifers. We're working on a video, and I really want to know what you think the biggest differences are between people who RV full time and people who live van life full time.
Yep.
So please be sure to comment that down below.
And we're not talking just like, you know, within the van or the RV. We're talking about full lifestyle.
So comment down below, let us know, like this video, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Create and Capture Life, and we will see you sooner rather than later this time.
Yep.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.